Get into the Wednesday wrangle now, joined on the desk by the late debate host Liz Storer. Good to see you, Liz. And in Melbourne, columnist and broadcaster and author Justin Smith. Let's start with you, Justin. I mean, you're sitting there in the decaying capital of what once was a great sporting city and now is an embarrassment to Australia and the world.
This is still a beautiful city and still a great state. Unfortunately, we are an embarrassment. And look, just imagine if this was happening to Belfast or Edinburgh or Wellington or something like that. We'd be laughing our bums off at them over this. You know, we would think it was hilarious that they asked for the games, they got the games. Look, I think the biggest thing about this, I mean, look, Andrews has been for quite a long time. Premier Andrews has been for quite a long time Teflon coated, but this is going to hang around his neck like a dog turd. I mean, the secrecy around this and the money that's involved.
Such a lovely image you conjure up for us, hanging a dog turd around someone's neck. While I try and digest that, and let's have a look at some of what Daniel Andrews had to say today.
You're asking me to apologise for cancelling the games, and I'm not doing that because we're not running them. Because to run them is billions of dollars over and above the original budget.
Let's bring in Liz Storer. He's completely unapologetic, isn't he? He never does anything wrong, this guy.
And as usual, as we've all grown accustomed to over the last 3 years, doesn't explain where this massive blowouts come from. He's getting absolutely smashed left, right and centre by people saying, how the heck have you come up with this figure all of a sudden that's almost triple to what you committed to in the first place? And now the state's facing millions in compensation. Of course, there would have been tenders signed at this point, contracts, etc. and so on. Also, lawyers are looking into what compensation will be now need to be paid to whichever city does end up hosting it. It's currently looking like it could be Christchurch, which makes a lot more sense if you ask me, because they've already got the infrastructure there, as well as a $641 million stadium already well underway. Why is it that these people who bang on about sustainability and you know, cutting down on emissions, and we all know the building industry is one of the worst hit by all that.
Easy.
They're one of the biggest culprits. We still insist on building state-of-the-art, ginormous facilities every 4 years in a different city.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
The massive
Use
stadium
the ones we've got.
They were going to build in Horsham, wasn't it, Justin? No, I think
what
it was
a laugh.
Tell you what, you're sticking up for Melbourne as you'd expect to, and my God, I do love the city of Melbourne. I have two sons who live there, and I love it for footy, if nothing else. But let's just have a look at these pictures, because there was an event in Melbourne this week. It's not been a good week for Melbourne. Well, they had this big display of the drones in the sky, and the drones plummeted into the Yarra. And these poor,
easy.
What about these
what
poor
the hell
scuba divers?
Kick the hell out of Melbourne night.
How'd you like to be the scuba diver having to go to the Yarra to find the drones and probably a few underworld figures?
You've got to. Can you take it easy, please, on this terrific city that we have here? Yes, we've got a premier with that particular thing hanging around his neck at the moment. That's right. Look, the thing about this, as a working journalist who has been asking questions of this state as well, one of the hardest things is that you can't get an answer from them. And I have seen this arrogance build up over the last couple of years. You know, like I've said about Andrews before, during COVID, he's going to get some things wrong. He's going to get a few things right. And we as commentators will bag him or congratulate him, whatever we want. But what I have seen change is the arrogance, and it's probably just reached an incredible peak with this Commonwealth Games. I mean, we've got the officials saying that he is lying about this cost blowout. Let's think about that for a moment. That is extraordinary. That is extraordinary that the Commonwealth Games heads have come out and said, no, it's wrong.
Yeah, they reckon he's doubled the numbers, and there'll be a Senate inquiry into all of that. We better take a break. There's nothing wrong with Melbourne that a couple of decent stadiums and someone who knows how to fly some drones wouldn't fix.